And I realized I hit the wrong button. Oops. Sorry about that, everybody. I think I actually hit the end stream button. Oh boy, sorry about that. Let's see, is this a live stream getting reset up properly? I actually hit the wrong button, so now I hit the in the live stream button. Now I'm going to have to reset up everything quickly. Sorry about that, everybody. Let me just make sure everything gets set up properly, or reset up properly, because of my stupidity. Yep, update the YouTube thumbnail. Perfect. Go back to Rumble, edit the description. Luckily, I just have to change the YouTube link for that. And yep, I think everything has been fixed. Yep, I think everything's been fixed. Sorry about that, everybody. When you actually hit the end live stream button, you have to sort of quickly reset up everything. So let's go ahead and get started the next game. Let's just go ahead and do this one here. Oh yeah, I need to set Twitch. Come on. There we go. Perfect. Hopefully. I have to make sure, look around. Sometimes it gets a little black screen. But let's go and get started. Greetings everyone, and Grade here for another Company Heroes 1 replay. Spawn on top left side as the Panzer Elite player, we have Sky is the limit. Spawn on bottom right side as the US forces, we have Net D4. I just want to make sure my stream's up and going, since I actually hit the end stream button, not the end recording button for the local recording. We do have a doctrinal lock-in of the Luftwaffe ground forces for the Panzer Elite player. We do also have G43 Panzer Grenadiers deployed on out. Over here for the US player, we do have, of course, more engineers, as well as a Jeep being deployed on out. Panzer Grenadiers advancing forward. This one has been upgraded to G43s. Do have the engineers deployed on out, trying to capture that fuel point now. Jeep deployed. Do now have a Jeep deployed on the field. Do have these Panzer Grenadiers pushing way forward. Panzer Grenadiers advancing forward, trying to capture some of these sectors. We do have the Panzer Grenadiers over here, getting some good damage onto these engineers. And also, this G43 squad has actually got inside this garrison. Jeep not pursuing the Panzer Grenadiers. Do got a second Kettengrad out in the field. Likely eyeing to get out some Luftwaffe ground forces, whether it be Fallschirmjägers or Luftwaffe squads. You have these Panzer Grenadiers eyeing for the central point, and now you have the munitions point being captured up by the Kettengrad as well.
Engineers all good.
Panzer Grenadiers advancing on forward, but do not find any angle on these engineers just yet. Rifleman squad advancing forward. It does get a good burst there on the Panzer Grenadiers now. Jeep now advancing forward, trying to find some good damage onto this. What? Don't see anything that says like map hack. Munitions point now being captured on up. We do got this Panzer Grenadier here. Now this Panzer Grenadier is advancing forward, trying to get some good damage onto the Jeep. This Panzer Grenadier is advancing on forward, and this Kettengrad eyeing for the fuel point.
Our front lines are collapsing.
VP now being captured on up. We do have the Panzer Grenadiers getting some damage onto this Jeep. And do have this Rifleman squad not behind the pavement cover there, but not in engagement. G43 Panzer Grenadiers advancing on forward, trying to get some good damage onto this engineer.
Forward supply lines are broken.
Panzer Grenadiers advancing on forward. Engineers moving inside the garrison. And now we do have the Panzer Grenadiers do get some damage there onto the Jeep. The Jeep is receiving a bit of fire. And do have this engineer behind this garrison. And will get inside the garrison himself before the Panzer Grenadiers. And looks like the Jeep may have went down. No, the Jeep did not go down. The Jeep managed to barely escape on out of there. Engineers do find some damage there on the Panzer Grenadiers. Kaliningrad to capture up this strategic point. Rifleman squad is now falling back.
Supply lines are broken. We have territory out
And
of
we've got these
supply.
engineers pushing way back as well. Or retreating back, not pushing his way back. Riflemen all captured this munitions point there. And now we've got this engineer capturing that munitions point. We
Losing a
have
victory
this
point.
garrison.
We are losing a victory point.
Garrisoned, of course, trying to camp this munitions point. And the VP's now being decaptured up by the Panzer Grenadiers of Kaliningrad. Engineers receiving a bit of fire there, trying to get this munitions point in supply. And he will get the point captured up and falls back. Panzer Grenadiers do get inside the garrison. There's one window firing at the moment. And this Panzer Grenadier does see a bit of fire there now. Panzer Grenadiers receive quite a bit of fire there. There's only one window firing, so it's not a great garrison for them. This one does not have any weapon upgrade. The G43 one could advance forward to get some suppressive fire onto this rifleman squad, allowing the other one to engage quite successfully. Kaliningrad pushes way over here. I do have this rifleman does get inside this garrison. There's currently 3 windows on this side, and looks like it's also firing from this window here as well. So it's a good fighting point for it, but just getting overwhelmed from multiple squads.
Rifles on me.
Rifleman squad now advancing up north. We do have these points being captured on up. Now this Jeep is advancing forward and does get some good damage onto that Panzer Grenadier.
Awaiting your orders, sir. We got company. Enemy tell us what to do.
Let's get suppressive fire ability there from the Panzer Grenadier, so suppress the riflemen. They are behind light cover, getting some rounds from the Kaliningrad. Over here, the Jeep is getting some good damage there onto the Panzer Grenadier. Flame engineers running around. This engineer also firing as well. Both these Panzer Grenadier squads do fall back. Jeeps reversing out of there.
Rifleman squad, front and center.
And we have this rifleman squad now receiving a bit of suppressive fire.
Leave on me and I'll keep you alive. We got a full
Riflemen are
combat
decapturing that
mode.
field point. Got this Jeep moving around.
Let's get this over with, goddammit.
And the Jeep's receiving a bit of fire as well. Or it's sending some fire. I cannot get my words straight today, can I? Rifleman is captured at the fuel point. We got this Jeep patrolling around, and we do have the engineers capture these central VPs. Over here, we do have a Panzer Support. Wait, Panzer Support Command going forward on out. We may see a Panzer Force C. Maybe it's meant for light. The other assets probably not really necessary versus a Jeep. So maybe we'll see a Panzer Force C.
Point is ours. What say we lock it down? Rifle squad,
We do now have a landmine being deployed on out. Very nice.
Reporting construction complete.
And these Panzer Grenadiers advancing on forward. Jeep is getting some damage there. Looks like another squad just got upgraded G43s. This engineer squad does fall back. I don't see any landmines in this region. These Panzer Grenadiers are trying to capture up the northern points. We've got this rifleman over here. And this flame engineer only
We're losing a
decaptures
fuel
that
sector.
munitions point. I need to move around to support the rifleman. Kaliningrad is out of range to decapture that point.
Look alive, people. We got ground infantry.
And now we've got
Losing
the
a point out
Panzer
there.
Grenadier getting some damage there onto the rifleman.
Yep, recon here.
Kaliningrad does receive a bit of fire there. Riflemen are decapping that munitions point now. The Kaliningrad is down half health. Panzer Grenadiers eyeing to get some heavy cover right there. But right now there's a big line of sight blocker right here, preventing these guys from skirmishing any further.
Initiative. At this rate, we'll be taking
Kaliningrad does
Berlin
get the
by
cutoff point,
Christmas.
preventing that fuel income and potentially its munitions income if it was actually ever captured. And this munition, Panzer Grenadiers making its way down south, trying to hit this Jeep. Jeep's now receiving a bit of fire from these Panzer Grenadiers. He's going to make his withdrawal. Rifleman and Flame Engineer does get some damage onto this Panzer Grenadier. Jeep does see a bit of fire. Kaliningrad may receive some more fire as well. Switching over the Panzer League player, let's see if we have a 2-2 out on the field. So he looks like he's built all structures. He may be rushing out the Panthers at the current rate. SCGs have just been deployed out as well. He does force back that Rifleman squad.
We are losing ground.
Over here, Kaliningrad's capturing some points. And the Jeep's being forced back from the SDG squad. SDG squad's down one model as well. But does get some good damage to the Jeep, but not enough to kill it. Kaliningrad making its way down south. We do hear some fire. Here we go. Rifleman inside this garrison. Armor car now advancing on forward. We do have the garrison receiving a bit of fire. Now scout car getting some good rounds into this rifleman, or armor car I should say. Rifleman does find this Kaliningrad, get some rounds into it, but nope, they're mostly hitting this Panzer Grenadier behind heavy cover. Rifleman squad does get out of the garrison, making itself way a little bit further. We got another 2-2 on the build queue, and now this rifle squad is falling back. It may get wiped out. The armor car can show no mercy sometimes, like that.
Even now.
Flame Engineer sort of dancing around, does spot the landmine there with his G43 squad. Do have now another 2-2 deployed on the field, so currently he has 2. Rifleman squad may see some autocannon fire, but nope, the 2-2 is out of range. Rifleman is capturing this field point now. We've got the Flame Engineers capturing up this field point now. Rifleman squad does fall back. Panzer Grenadiers are all quite wounded, but I don't think we see the field healing just yet. Mine's been pulled on out right there, but the 2-2 does avoid it. G43 squad could get some rounds onto that Jeep. Now the 2-2 is now trying to pursue it. And the Flame Engineers are eyeing for the munitions point, but they do immediately fall back. Over here, we've got the Rifleman squad eyeing for the garrison. 2-2 does set up in our angle to body block the engineers. We try to dance in front of it to prevent them from retreating back. Not fully successful. May continue to pursue it, but does not. Oh, landmine was spotted there by the G43 squad. And now the Jeep does receive a bit of fire there. M1 AT gun deployed now. Try to get some hits on 2-2. Of course, he has the motor pool. Looks like nothing else being deployed out of the motor pool. No, the Panzer League player has gone for Luftwaffe ground forces. Let's see if his opponent's gone for any doctrine. If he has, it hasn't been selected just yet. Kaliningrad and 2-2 making his way up north. We do got the defensive G43 squad here.
This is recon.
Now this rifleman squad, the riflemen do have bar research now. Another AT gun being pulled on out.
Can now support rapid deployment.
Rapid deployment. I always forget if that's armor or infantry because they both have a similar ability. SG squad advancing forward. We got the G43 squad as well.
Recon on point.
We have heavy infantry reserves.
Rangers now can be called on in. Rangers have been called on in. Do you only ever go for 2 riflemen? Huh, interesting. Additionally, we do have infantry doctrines being selected, as well as rangers. Early rangers bullet on out. Very nice. We don't really see a whole lot of ranger action,
Winning the battle.
at least when it comes to infantry doctrine. Most people just go straight for the artillery. G43 and STJ squad in this region, 2 now firing away against the engineer squad and the garrison. Stealth Kaliningrad stealthing its way forward. Do have now the Thompson upgrade on the range as well, so it's not meant for anti-infantry. It's going for more anti-infantry focus. Bazookas both Smiths there. And the Panzer Grenadiers now receive a lot of fire there. Panzer Grenadiers may receive some continuous fire there. The Panzer Grenadier may get fully wiped. It does get fully wiped there. Rifleman squad does use suppressive fire ability there, while definitely hit there by the mortar. May wipe out that Rifleman squad. Flame Engineers advancing forward, getting some good damage there. Rifleman squad does get fully wiped on out. Flame Engineer now engaged in melee, well, basically melee range from the STGs. You got the AT gun does find a direct hit there on the STG squad. One STG squad still fully pinned. The other ones are firing away. Does spot the medic station there. Very nice. 2 casualties have been recovered. Another medic starting to get hit as well. 1 medic does go down. Another medic will get gunned down now. Riflemen capture the points now. Rangers now fired up, trying to engage these forces. You also have a light ATF track in the region. And 1 AT gun destroy some of this heavy cover. Medic station has received a bit of fire as well.
Enemy unit down.
Oh. Was that a full squad wipe there? Was that the... Yeah, that was the very wounded STG squad getting blown up by a landmine. Very, very good landmine.
Rangers taking heat.
Rangers do fall back, considering mortar may singe them. And now we've got 2 AT guns deployed on the field.
Weapon crew reporting casualties.
I think one of the AT guns may have got decrewed by the mortar half-track. Yes, it did. Don't know if Sticky Bomb is on the field queue. I was going to say if you see Sticky Bomb research yet, and this will just answer that question. And the answer is technically no, but also soon to be yes. Mortar raining on in, trying to get some more hits there on these AT guns. He has recruited the AT gun. AT gun advancing forward. There is a Stealth Kaliningrad here, and Stealth Kaliningrad there. Flame Engineers finding a burst onto these Panzer Grenadiers. And now we've got these Riflemen squads close distance there, getting some great damage. You got suppressive fire ability there on the Flame Engineers. The Rifleman squad does fall back as well. Flame Engineers are firing flame bursts on the retreat path, getting almost a wipe on the STG squad. Range now fired up. We may see a double kill there. Does take out the Panzer Grenadier. Now the mortar half-track may go down. Damage and crit there. And there goes the mortar half-track to the AT gun. AT gun does get encircled by this 2-2. AT gun does go down there. Auto cannon fire onto the Jeep will force it back. We may see another AT gun over here. No, we do not. The AT gun needs to rotate its faces gun over this direction. And also, it's going to take time to destroy the AT gun with the light
Losing a
ATF track.
strategic sector. We have 300 points left.
Need something?
Do now have the Fallschirmjäger squad behind some heavy cover there. Rifleman squad getting a good volley there onto that 2-2-2, but it's going to eye that garrison for the time being. And there's Stealth Kaliningrad in the region as well as G43 squad. This G43 squad is trying to engage those Rangers. Rangers also all of its models. And it's going to start annihilating that G43 squad. Looks like he got stuck reloading there. Fallschirmjägers do get revealed there. And now the Fallschirmjägers are engaged at close range. And the Ranger squad is getting ripped apart. Does fall back. And when AT gun advances forward, the AT gun over here has been destroyed. Rifleman squad is still in the garrison. And now I got the medics charging forward, trying to recover some of these Ranger models. At least there's one, looks like there's perhaps 2. And one of the medics do get gunned down right there. Starting to focus down those medics as well. It does take out both those medics purposefully. Jeep. And Rifleman squad advancing forward. This Rifleman squad is severely wounded. Do have now Veteran C1 on to the Fallschirmjäger. Veteran C1 accuracy. Over here, we got the Kaliningrad receiving a bit of damage. And the Argentine squad does receive a bit of damage there. Jeep now advancing forward. We got a little bit of knockout there out of heavy cover. The Jeep is obviously Panzerfaust, but will manage to drive away. Rifleman squad advancing forward with only 2 models left, but both those models can carry bars. Rangers are advancing forward with some Flame Rangers over here. Rifleman squad does force back that Fallschirmjäger squad. Autocannon fire still raining on in. And that must have been a frag grenade. Rangers do use fired up there. Gains some great damage to the G43 squad, forcing him back. Autocannon now advancing forward. One bazooka does connect. Now the Rangers may need to find a good spot to rest from the exhaustion from fired up. Light TF track sort of falling on back, trying to avoid any additional combat. Stealth Kaliningrad still alive, stealthing around, get some good spotting. Level 1 production now deployed on out. He may be eyeing just go straight for a whole bunch of man spam at this current rate. He does have the medic station still up and going, has claimed 2 casualties. The medic station is almost down, however. May want to send an engineer to get it repaired on up.
Listen up, rifle squad. Good to go.
Yes, I have a flamer engineer right there. Jeep patrolling around. Maybe he'll spot a stealth Kaliningrad. Oh, what the hell? Okay, it looks like he does spot the butterfly bombs there. I got really confused there where he just started shooting up at us. Literally at the cameraman. Rifleman squad is behind some light cover there. Fallschirmjäger squad is advancing. And over here, looks like the Thompson Rangers do get out the garrison right there. Rifleman squad is still in the garrison, now abandoning it now. Now we've got Panther research for the Panzer Elite player, so we do have some early Panthers. And this Rifleman squad does fall back now.
What are my coordinates?
Rangers, of course, are nice, but they do have a bit of trouble hitting the frontal, through the frontal armor of the Panther, like most things. He does have, of course, currently 2 AT guns deployed at the moment. Let's see what the Panzer Elite player has. He has, of course, the butterfly bombs as well as Fallschirmjägers. He has a good reserve of fuel and plenty of reserve ammunition, so we may see some more butterfly bombs. And overall, there's some great field control coming out by the Panzer Elite player. Great shots there on the Panther, getting some rear armor hits. And this is going to take time to repair up that medic station. Nope, only tap them with the wrenches. Trying to stop the Kaliningrad here. But we'll run straight into the 2-2. Oh, and that flame engineer will likely go down at the current rate. Looks like the Rangers do drop a bazooka there. Since he did drop a bazooka model, that means only 1 active bazooka at the moment. Kaliningrad does get spotted there for a brief moment, but does fall back in time. We do got the Minesweeper squad here trying to collect, dispose of these butterfly bombs. US player, it looks like he's saving up for his command points for the off-map combat group. He is low in fuel, so the off-map combat groups could be very, very useful. Though it is very RNG dependent. Getting AT guns probably are great. Hellcats could be nice. Greyhounds could be potentially good, helping protect the flanks.
Yeah. What are my coordinates?
AT gun does get a hit there. The Panther is severely wounded. May receive another shot from the AT gun. This other one is receiving a bit of fire as well. Both these Panthers are severely wounded. Now we've got a Hotchkiss barrage raining on in. Does find some splash damage there onto that AT gun there. But most of the shots are sort of just spread out wide. Rifleman getting some good damage on the Fallschirmjägers. Fallschirmjägers all for the models going. The medic models are pushing on forward, trying to grab some casualties. There's multiple casualties right here. See, these 2. He may still be alive at the moment, but this probably soon going to expire. And the Ranger squad does receive a lot of hits there. His bazooka models are down, so you can't get any bazooka shots onto it. And now the Ranger squad does fall back. It could be wiped out right there. There's no health remaining.
Our
And
forces
the
are
Ranger
taking
squad does get wiped
casualties.
out. You gotta be very careful with Rangers. Just because they upgraded Thompson doesn't mean they have the bazookas out anymore. And he does lose his Ranger squad, which was a massive
We're
loss.
down to 100 points.
He has enough manpower for the off-map combat group, but doesn't have the ability ready just yet. Looks like he only has level 1 production at the moment. Leningrad does receive a bit of fire there. Potion makers do see some hits there. And you got triple capture against the US player. Hotchkiss now firing a barrage trying to hit these forces. Does get a decent hit there. And these squads do fall back. Another Hotchkiss barrage coming on in. AT gun does find a hit there on the Hotchkiss. AT gun get a spot for it. And that Jeep does avoid all that fire and may go ahead and take time to gun down that Kettengrad. Kettengrad falling on back. It looks like some of these casualties are being recovered now. That should give him a free rifleman squad. I think the Jeep just went down to the Panther.
And that's the ball game. Construction finished. Listen here.
We're losing a munitions sector.
Kettengrad capturing that point. Very nice.
Engineers got the piss pounded out of us.
And do now have, looks like another fresh Potion Maker squad. No FG-42 upgrade onto it, or at least not yet. Rifleman squad now advancing forward. There's a US landmine not fully built. US player, he has just trying to stay with one more command point there. Now he has access off that combat group. And now he's going to be calling it in now. Let's see what it gets out. Hellcat, Greyhound, and 2 riflemen. Actually, that's pretty good. Not the most ideal one he can get. But getting 2 rifleman squads and a Hellcat is never half bad. Good hit there onto the AT gun. Potion makers. Garrison received quite a bit of fire, but there's 2 potion makers in this region. That's going to on to capture that central V or left VP. Hellcat and Greyhound advancing on forward. Light TF track in the region. Got to destroy the engine crit there, so it does get a crit shot. Needs to hit those troop units, not the infantry. Luftwaffe ground forces are here. Right there, so at full health. We do not see any sticky bombs on that Panther.
Allies are down to 25 points.
One sticky bomb does connect right there. Gets a damage to crit there. We'll save the Hellcat from being rushed down. The armored car still quite wounded. Actually, this Panther still has no engine crit. Another sticky bomb onto the Panther. Only gets damage. And the Hellcat is sort of just creeping its way forward. Looks like not that's just the Kansas City players cast GG. This player is going to be out of tickets now. This is Angrade saying thank you for watching, and on to the next replay. Yep. There's one thing I want to check over here since I actually interrupted my stream. Just want to check something over here. Please give me a moment. Yep, there we go. I had to fix one thing over here. Sorry about that. And let's go ahead and go on to the next replay now. Oh yep, I cast this replay last week. Do the same replay, I'll just delete one and go for the other one. Greetings everyone, and Great here for another Company Heroes 1 replay. Spawn on the north side as the Wehrmacht player with 2 pioneers on the build queue. We have Techno. On the south side as the US player with Venus. I guess they know each other, potentially.
Jawohl, Mynheer.
Pioneers now advancing towards the center. We do have the Wehrmacht corps being pulled on out. We do got the barracks being pulled on out. And do have these engineers capturing this munitions point now. This munitions point's being captured on up. Cutoff point's not been captured yet. And I've got these pioneers. They do complete the Wehrmacht corps. Looks like one is going to capture this point here. Another one's going to be going to the safe point. Engineers capture the munitions point and now making their way over to this cutoff point now. We got a third engineer to also pull it on out. And first squad of riflemen should be coming out or being deployed out very soon. Over here, do have the MG42. US player has a rifleman squad being deployed on out.
Way to go, engineers. We hold the point.
Pioneers captured this munitions point. That point has been captured up as well. We do have, looks like some more wire being deployed on out. Very nice. I do now have, looks like a MG42 pushes its way forward. Engineers and pioneers engage in close range. And I'm seeing a little bit of lag spikes here. I need to double check and make sure I don't have anything excess open to slow down my game, because I'm getting hit by a couple lag spikes. Pioneers and engineers who do not finish each other off. We do have now the rifleman squad advancing forward. And pioneers, you have to support the MG42. Doesn't get suppression off of that first burst on the rifleman. And that little bit extra burst does not suppress them either. I'm gonna go for some bit of wire there. A little bit dangerous to lay down wire in combat, especially when you're a little bit wounded. But looks like you're trying to wire off this little region there. Was unsuccessful getting it fully wired off. MG42 can easily get overwhelmed by the multiple engineer squads in this region. This one's falling back. Rifleman squad sort of backing up around the corner.
Ready, rifleman.
Oh, these lag spikes are a little bit
We're Johnny on the spot.
unpleasant.
Jeep deployed.
Oh, seriously, those lag spikes are getting pretty bad. I'm not sure what's causing it. Jeep deployed out on the field. And that's Pioneer is receiving a bit of fire. MG42 does get inside the garrison. Jeep now firing away. Again, with these lag spikes, I have no idea what's causing it.
Listen up.
Rifleman squad does get interrupted to try to go with the capture of that cutoff point. And the Rifleman squad does drop a model there. Volksgrenadier soldiers running away, sustaining a lot of damage from that Rifleman. They both are now behind heavy cover there. And now we've got the engineers engaging the pioneers relatively at long range for these units. MG42 firing a burst off of on the Jeep. Jeep charging on forward, interrupting the heavy cover of the Volksgrenadiers. Now the Jeep's being hit, focused down. Do you have another Volksgrenadier squad advance forward? Perhaps being behind this heavy cover over here would be a good idea. Volksgrenadiers has been pushed out of heavy cover now, and now do have the MG42 coming over to support the Volksgrenadiers. Rifleman squad does see a bit of suppression there. You now have the Pioneer. Needs some good damage there on the Engineer. For both sides, it's a bit of coin flip who's actually winning this fight. Both of them are just severely wounded. Nope. And of course, sometimes when I click on the minimap, it just goes off in the corner. We have a fresh triage center here. That rifleman desperately needs a blood transfusion. And now we do have the rifleman squad that's get forced back by the Flamer Pioneer. Jeep now advancing forward, trying to get some good damage on these forces.
The Germans are taking one of our points.
And the Pioneer squad is falling on back.
Time to get out there and fight.
MG42 set on up, got these engineers or pioneers kept at the munitions point. And still, these lag spikes are a little bit excessive. If you give me one moment to try to address the lag spikes, Going to close out some extra tabs here. Should be. Hopefully that fixes it. Didn't have a whole lot of extra tabs opened up, but sometimes just one tab is just says Google Chrome's like, oh, I don't want to work anymore. And guess what? That may have actually done it. Oh, he finished off that wire there and managed to get the Surf Squad teleported on the other side of the wire. Not sure if that was intentional or not. Yeah, there we go. Don't see any lag spikes now, and I probably jinxed myself. Pioneers now pushing way forward, trying to capture up this munitions point.
Are taking our territory.
And the engineer's going to take time to repair up the Jeep. And I saw a little bit of lag spike there. I guess nothing goes right today. Riflemen are firing a lot of bullets there, but looks like he did attack order onto the wire. All this wire is actually fully built, so it won't do any damage to that wire.
Forward supply lines are broken.
Flame engineers, let's get the capture on that munitions point there. It does fall back, may get wiped out. Nope, does not get gunned down while in negative cover. And it looks like he does go and cut that wire there with the engineers. A couple of these rifleman squads, he still attack ordered the wire there, so he's throwing a lot of rounds in there. Received a lot of free damage from the Volksgrenadiers. Pioneer advancing on forward. We've got the Jeep here, and now the Kriegsmark is being pulled on out. Flamer Pioneer advancing forward. Minesweeper Engineers does get the capture on that cutoff point. He received quite a bit of damage there from Panzerfaust, and now the Volksgrenadier are set ablaze. Pioneer squad advancing on forward. Might get some good damage on these squads. And you got this Volksgrenadier squad severely wounded. Does have Veteran C1, so we'll have some health regen. Flamer Pioneers do fall back, Flamer Engineers do fall back as well, but both of them should be able to keep on out there. But he's trying to throw some rounds there. Does suppress the Rifleman squad.
Point is ours.
Now this point is being decaptured as well, or being captured. Cutoff point still cut off. Though then again, it's actually not cut off. All these sectors are actually getting supply thanks to this point here. Once this point gets decaptured, then his point will actually be cut off. Another Panzerfaust firing, does take out the Jeep right there, and there's also a US landmine in that region. Volksgrenadiers receive a pretty good volley there. Pioneers are severely wounded. This one could be wiped out by this landmine. One Volksgrenadier model does fall back, but these Pioneers in the region as well. Again, these lag spikes, I don't know what on earth is causing it. I may need to restart the game after this one. I hope that helps fix out. Maybe restart the browsers in order to clear out any sort of cache, because Chrome just likes to eat RAM like crazy. And now we've got that MG42 squad does fall back. Flame Engineers advancing forward with some, or Flame Pioneers with some regular Pioneers and Volksgrenadiers. Flame Engineers and Riflemen in this region. And he does go ahead and wipe out, I think, a Pioneer squad. But that's all US units. Flamer Pioneers may get wiped out. Do have now half-track deployed out on the field, loaded up with a Pioneer, and it did reinforce that Grenadier. I don't believe sticky bombs have been researched, so this half-track will do some good work. And now the Engineer squad is falling on back. Flame Engineers receiving a bit of or sending out a lot of fire. And receiving a lot of fire, just not literal fire. Notice that one of the Volksgrenadier squads does get inside the half-track. Both of them do get inside the half-track, so the half-track's quite loaded. It does find a landmine down south.
And that's the ballgame. Construction finished.
Flyard has been built, and now going for a motor pool. Likely go out for a Greyhound. And all of these rifleman squads are falling back. He does have a triage center, so retreating back these higher health or higher model squads low in health will help him preserve manpower. Rifleman squad does capture the VP. Yeah, these lag spikes are a little bit unbearable at the moment. Rifleman squad now getting some good damage there on this. Volksgrenadier is trying to lay down some sandbags. I'm not sure why he's trying to lay down sandbags right there. But does get the sandbags deployed out right there, and does get some reinforcements. The MG42 could advance forward to this heavy cover, and perhaps get reinforced from the half track. There's actually 2 MG42s deployed on the field. You got 4 riflemen, 3 engineers. Sticky bombs have been researched. His opponent currently has 2 Volksgrenadiers, 2 Pioneers, 2 MG42s, 1 half track, and now soon to be 1 Pak 38. Does get a squad of MP40s, and now we do also have a Greyhound on the build queue.
Supply lines are broken. We have territory cut off.
Pak 38 has been completed. Now do got this Flame Pioneer fired a bit of a flame there? Okay. There must have been a briefing go for him to fire against that garrison. Pioneer does get some good flame bursts there on that rifleman squad.
Taking fire!
Over here, rifleman squad's advancing on forward. We got the flame engineers as well. Volksgrenadiers behind some light and maybe some heavy cover there as well. MG42, its squad is very, very spread out, so one of the models could get gunned down. Half track advance forward, trying to provide some suppression. Riflemen and engineers behind some light cover, trying to gun down the MP40 Volksgrenadiers. Sticky bomb does get thrown out. Two of them does connect onto that half track. And damage the engine as well as a gunner killed Fred. Greyhound advancing forward, does get the armor skirts upgraded now, and does fire a quick shot onto that half track. Pak 38 advancing over here. Panzerfaust does connect there. MG42 does find some suppression there, some damage. Flame Engineer trying to flank the MG42, and this Volksgrenadier squad needs to fall back. Volksgrenadier could be fully wiped out. MG42 forced on back. Pioneer squad left out to dry. They were the ones inside the half track gunning the guns. And does get fully wiped out by the Flamer Engineer. Over here, got the MP40 Volks firing against these engineers. So let's get some good damage there. Volksgrenadiers receive quite a bit of fire there. May need to fall back sooner rather than later. The MP40 Volks does get a pretty good volley right there as well. Pak 38 does get flanked by the Flamer Engineers. MG42 could fire some rounds into that garrison. And does get a lot of damage there on the Pak 38. Looks like the MG42 is not firing for some odd reason. There's a Wehrmacht landmine right there. If detonated, that could be very, very deadly. Grenadiers advancing forward, does have Veteran Z2 and his Grenadiers, and does throw a stick bomb at that garrison. Does avoid the stick bomb there. MG42 does suppress that Flame Engineer, however. 2 rifleman squads here. This one does get overrun. There's also a Wehrmacht landmine next to it. Panzertrack does get a good hit there on the rifleman. And the Pak 38 has been claimed. And landmine was spotted there. Gets some great detonation there. Forcing back one rifleman squad. The other one's severely wounded. And Pak 38 looks like will be claimed. Volksgrenadiers advancing on forward. One, of course, load up with the MP40s. Nothing else being played out by the US player at the moment. Let's see what the Wehrmacht player has on the books. Mortar team. Interesting. The other Volksgrenadier not being upgraded to MP40s. Looks like doesn't have enough munitions for it. Greyhound advancing forward, trying to get some good damage on in. And the Wehrmacht player does have 4 command points.
What now? What's yet?
MG42 is setting on up. We do have the captured Pak 38 firing some rounds into this heavy cover. Good damage there. Another Panzerfaust being lined up does fire. Does connect with that Greyhound. Volksgrenadiers receive credited fire and they do fall back. We do now have good suppression coming out from the MG42 on these rifleman squads. Pioneers capture the left flank. Greyhounds coming over to respond to it. And one of the rifleman squads does get fully pinned there. Volksgrenadiers right here. And does go ahead and push forward with this MG42. Rifleman squads and the engineer advancing on forward. We have the Volksgrenadiers. He captured that munitions point. Once the engineers coming to repair up that Greyhound. Great stick grenade. Gets some great damage there. It does force back the rifleman. Rifleman over here needs to press rotate a little bit better around the heavy cover. Because right now only one model's firing. Oh, I heard a landmine detonation over here. It was over here, actuality. A lot of these rifleman squads are quite wounded. MG42 is severely wounded. May need to fall back sooner rather than later. And looks like he will get wiped out there. Grenade Warfare now firing a volley. Rifleman inside the garrison gets good damage on in. Volksgrenadiers receive a bit of fire as well. Rifleman getting some good damage onto these Volksgrenadiers. It's got the Pentrick onto the Greyhound there. Volksgrenadier squad does fall back. And now we're going to have a fresh Pack 38 deployed on out. Pentrick trying to fire a shot. Does get a good hit there on the Greyhound now. Greyhound's at Veteran C1, and now the regular Grenadier does fall back.
We are losing ground.
Veteran C1 support units. And the Flaming Engineer does fall back. You have now the Grenade Warfare firing away somewhere. And now Flaming Engineers do fall back. They do not get wiped out there. Flamer Pioneer gains some good damage on that rifleman, but the Flamer Pioneer does get fully wiped out. Grenade Warfare may get wiped out as well. This one has captured his opponent's MG42, but does get decrewed by the MP40 folks. Rifleman may be eyeing to charge forward to grab that Grenade Warfare. Do drop a model there, and it's unlikely it's going to capture it up now. I do love the MP40 folks. MP40 folks, in my opinion, they punch a bit too hard at range. Ooh, frag grenade was thrown. He does dodge it. MP42 has been captured and does withdraw from the region, and now the Volksgrenadier squad does fall back. Patrick does connect on the armored car. Rifleman squad does force back the Grenadier. Man, I don't know what's up with all these lag spikes. Rifleman squad does get suppressed there. M8 Greyhound is a little bit wounded, but nothing too significant. Grenade Warfare has been reclaimed.
We are losing territory.
Mortar squad firing a volley onto something. Rifleman squad does close the distance. We got the Flame Engineers getting some good volleys there. And that looks like grenades. So he looks like he's gone for Blitzkrieg. Stun grenades have been thrown, getting some great damage across multiple of these squads. And here comes the next volley of stun grenades. Mostly just hitting that one reach there. Could use from better scatter. Grenade Warfare does go down. MG42 does suppress these two rifleman squads here. MG42 trying to suppress the MG42. As these squads are starting to fall on back. Flamer Engineers may go down. MP40 folks could close the distance on the rifleman squad. Try to go for the recapture of the Grenade Warfare was unsuccessful. And got the Pack 38 getting forced on back. MP42 does fall back, so only got a soft tree here by the MP40 folks. And we've got a capture recovery bunker being pulled out right there.
Assault troops are awaiting deployment.
Now there's going to be a lot of potential casualties on the ground. Grenade Warfare has been claimed by the US player. And now he has gone for Stu and Stormtroopers available. Multiple casualties now being reclaimed. Rifleman squad does get forced on back. The VP is in favor of the Wehrmacht player by a small margin. 2 casualties have been claimed, but that's just it. No more casualties on the field. Or it's not Axis.
Talons attack our forward base.
Capture Grenade Warfare, firing a good volley onto this bunker. And the Pioneer does get suppressed there.
Cover his position! MG crew on me!
Oh, he was attacking the barbed wire, I believe, right there. That's what I was hearing.
Let's head up!
Flamer engineers do fall back. We do got the Stu now advancing on forward. Does get a good hit there on the Captain MG42, and here comes the stun grenades. Does get that rifleman squad quite severely. Here comes the next round of stun grenades. Getting some great damage there. Looks like that's all the stun grenades being thrown. Stu finds a decent shot there on the rifleman as well, annihilates that barbed wire of his own. MP40 Volks advancing forward, trying to get some good damage there on that rifleman squad. This rifleman squad does receive some hits there from that Stu.
Veterans engaged.
I do got the Veterans C1 tanks. Good hits there. And looks like the Volkswagen squad does fall on back. Pioneer squad does fall back. Stu does fire a shot and rolls a miss.
Pay attention.
Our squad does receive another kill, receive another death from the Stu.
Yes, sir.
And the Volksgrenadiers are captured this munitions point now. MG42 behind some cover. Captured Pack 38 pushes away forward. Stu firing a shot there in the garrison. Does get a decent hit onto the building, but then getting good hit damage onto the rifleman. Pack 38 does find a shot there. Does find another bounce. Volksgrenadiers captured that munitions point there. And that is just a Grenadier model right there. Somebody said that was a demolition charge. Another fresh Grenade Warfare deployed on the field for the Wehrmacht player. Maybe trying to displace those support weapons that he donated to his opponent. Volksgrenadier squad does fall back in time. MP40 Volks sees some good damage there on that engineer, but the engineer does get some good damage in return. Engineer does get fully wiped out and does get its tank detonated. Stu now advancing forward, trying to throw some rounds there onto this garrison.
Repairs complete! Line cover!
And a good hit there on that rifleman. These rifle squads are now trying to push him forward on the flanks. Got this guy suppressed. And he's got these rifleman squad and the flame engineers advancing on forward. Looks like a stun grenade is being cast by the grenadiers. And we've got also a great suppression there coming out of these forces. Stun grenades should be coming out relatively soon, though it looks like sort of bugging out a little bit. And we've got stun grenades now. He may get himself quite a bit. Does fall back there. Rifleman squads do fall back. Stu throws some rounds to the garrison.
The Yankees are grabbing our territory.
You got these engineers now captured up that strategic point, trying to capture the flanks. Grenadiers advance forward. We'll find some good damage onto that engineer at range, and they will go in close range, but no flame burst in return. Grenade Warfare trying to find a volley there. Does get a good hit there on the Volksgrenadiers.
You're losing a sector.
Good as new. Field repairs complete.
Looks like the Stu has been fully repaired up. Now going for another bunker. Looks like the casualty recovery bunker here did go down. And now we've got a fresh one deployed on the field. And looks like the engineer squad here may have been wiped out. I don't see a retreating back squad. Oh, there's lag spikes. Stun grenades now raining on in. Get some good hits there on that rifleman. And now this rifleman squad received some more stun grenades there. Get some great hits there. Stick grenade or sticky bomb does connect with the Stu. Greyhound could try to hit through armor, but it's not likely to be very useful. Of course, got the assault phase now up on the field. He may go straight for the battle phase. No battle phase in the field queue just yet. Put it there onto his own Volksgrenadier with that Stu. Rifleman squad's now advancing on forward, trying to get some good damage on in, but does get suppressed.
The enemy advances.
Stu seems to fire there. We got the rifleman trying to capture that munitions point. We got the offensive power shooting round raining on in. Bunker now repaired up to upgrade to a repair bunker, not a capture recovery bunker. And it looks like his opponent has gone for the infantry doctrine to see the ultimate power shoot. We may see a pair of Panzerfaust here, but he doesn't have the munitions for it. Stu does get some shots there onto the engineer. Greyhound still patrolling around. And that engineer squad will be forced some back.
Base is taking fire.
Greyhound still up and firing. Does lay down a landmine there, trying to snare anything that passes by. That may have been spotted. That may give him ideas what's going on. Patrick's trying to respond to it. Grenadier's now getting suppressed. Does get a good hit there on the Greyhound. And he got blown up by his own landmine there. Oof. The Pantrick's explosion detonated the landmine. No, it was actually pretty delayed for our explosion there. Oh, M2 howitzer now raining on in. Oops. Minimap went crazy again. Sherman tank has been put on the field. Does save another Pantrick shot there, severely wounded. Stu trying to be repaired up by the repair bunker. Does get a shot there onto the rifleman. Both of these riflemen and the Captain MG42 does get suppressed by the MG42. What's up with these lag spikes? Jeez. Does get a good shot there. Rifleman squads are severely wounded. Does get another hit there as well. These riflemen are trying to skirt around. We got these Volksgrenadiers advancing forward. He does get some good damage there. Stick grenade or frag grenade thrown there on the Grenadiers. This Grenadier does get suppressed.
Americans are seeking territory from us.
MP40 folks getting some good damage there on the riflemen. Grenadiers advancing forward. The Rifleman squad does decapture that VP. The VPs are very, very similar. I have no idea what's causing these lag spikes. My apologies, everyone, for these lag spikes. I have no idea what's causing them. Grenadiers maybe eyeing for a stick grenade to hit that Granada Warper. Though he may need to fall back, a little bit too wounded. Sherman tanks are, of course, relatively effective with his infantry. M2 howitzer trying to barrage this Granada Warper. Does get a direct hit there. Pack 38 does receive a hit as well. Now the Pioneer squad does fall back there. Sherman tank does get a great hit there on the Volksgrenadiers. Does get a good hit there on the repairing engineers with a Stu. Sherman tank and Stu can now be duking it out.
The enemy has 300 points.
Does throw around behind. There's definitely sticky bomb research. He's trying to go for sticky bomb now. He's out of pioneers. There's one Pack 32, Volksgrenadiers, one Grenadier, another. Both of these are stews, no stugs. Grenadiers maybe eyeing for that MG42. Nope. Does roll a miss there. Stu does roll a miss as well. Let's take out one of the repair pioneers, and the rifle squad's advancing forward, trying to get a sticky bomb there. Other Stu's trying to rotate around. Does get a good hit there on that rifleman. It looks like he may have lost another squad somewhere. Rifle squad does fall back now. No additional research for the Wehrmacht player. And the Wehrmacht player doesn't have a whole lot of manpower at the moment. US player has 6 command points. Has a lot of riflemen, not a lot of manpower to get them reinforced. In fact, one of them are right here. And let's fall back to the squad now. Stu's now advancing forward, trying to get some good shots on in. Termitane's still very much alive. May want to go for a 76mm upgrade at the current rate. And a good hit there onto the rifleman. Does get out a fresh Hellcat.
The enemy is after our victory point.
Back to full fighting strength. Painkiller here.
Hellcat pushes his way forward, trying to find some rear armor hits onto these Stu's. Does find a good hit there. Sherm does save a hit, but doesn't really do much damage with those hits. Patrick now advancing forward, trying to get a good hit there onto this Hellcat. And the Stu does receive a hit there as well. Hellcat does receive a 10. Patrick does receive a hit there from the Hellcat. Patrick fires, but rolls a hit miss straight into his own window. Hellcat will manage to escape on out of there, and the Grenadier squad may need to fall back entirely. Rifleman squad's now advancing forward. We may see the Stu line up a shot. Fires. Gets a decent hit there. And it looks like the MG42 or the Pack 38 does go down to the M2. Stu finds a minor splash there. Does get suppressed from the pimple mount. And good hit there as well. Second, one Stu's at 4 kills, the other one's at 28.
Losing ground out
Oh,
there.
more smoke from the Grenade Warfare. Very nice.
Listen up, Rifle Squad. Rifle Squad, all eyes. That's it. Construction finished.
Rifleman squad does well. Landmine there. Very nice. And a couple hits there onto that rifleman in the smoke. Over here, Volksgrenadiers eyeing for some stun grenades. They're going to be pretty successful. Receives, sends a frag of their own, but they flinched away from it. More stun grenades into the rifleman. And get some great hits there. The rifleman squad does fall back now. We got another M2 barrage this time, trying to hit those Stu's. Landmine was detonated there from a stray Grenade Warfare shot.
Order, ready.
Yeah, I really need to restart the game after this one with all these lag spikes. This Panzer or Grenadier has been upgraded with 2 Panzerschrecks, so should be very effective versus the various armor assets. You, of course, have a fresh Hellcat deployed on the field. I got these right from the squad's advancing forward. Do have, looks like, a stun grenade being thrown out by the Grenadiers. Does get a good stun effect there. Here comes the next stun grenade. It does force back those squads. Very, very nice. Making very, very good use of those stun grenades. We do also have a very large munitions reserve for the US player. It has 450 munitions. That's quite a bit. Does fire a shot there, throws some rounds into that edge line. Directed there on the Hellcat. Does kill off one of those models there. I think maybe even 2 models of those Volksgrenadiers. Rifleman squad now receives some Stu fire and does throw out a frag grenade right there. Rifleman squad does receive another Stu shot. Got these forces advancing forward to starting to repair off that Hellcat. And good hit there on those riflemen with the Stu. Does have level 2 Veteran C armor Veteran C for his Stus. Decent hit there on the rifleman, just doing some damage. Veteran C 1 on light vehicles as well. Stu's now advancing forward, trying to throw some rounds in this engineer. They are very stacked up, so this could be a very deadly shot. Does get some good damage there. Rolls a miss there, but all these rifleman squads are very, very wounded and suppressed. Rolls a miss there. Got the Hellcat to push his way forward. Trying to throw some rounds onto this AT gun. Pak-30 has rotated around. Frag grenade thrown. Does get the crew there. And does not lose that rifleman just yet. Oh, that's a Tiger tank. Tiger tank has been pulled out of the field. Does take out the Pak-30 as well. Sherman tank may go down to the Tiger tank. Rifleman squad trying to eye a sticky bomb there. May get a sticky bomb. Does get the sticky bomb there on the Tiger tank. Tiger tank's trying to rotate his gun around. Needs to rotate his whole body. Sherman tank did not run away properly, and so now he's crushing that hedge line there. But the direction of the gun is playing havoc there. The Tiger tank now at this point in time just needs to fall back. There's no way he can stop that capture Pak-30 from doing extra damage there. A great hit there on the rifleman squad with a Stu. Tiger tank should be able to skip on out of there. Does get a landmine hit there and does get a fully immobilized Hellcat. And the offhand power shoot does connect onto that pack gun as it scoots itself out of the way. Stu now trying to fight a shot out there on the Hellcat. It is severely wounded. Its main gun destroyed a crit there, so now the Stu can just start taking pot shots at it. Hellcat does go down. More stun grenades there from the Volksgrenadiers. It's directed there on the captured MG42, and that should be a decrewed MG42 with that stun grenade. MG42 received a bit of extra damage there. Pantrix does get some hits. Sherman tank and Pack and M118 on advancing forward. We got some Rangers out in the field as well. That may have been from Off-Map Combat Group. Off-Map Combat Group, not on cooldown, but it is available. Let's get a stun grenade before withdrawing. Tiger tank now receiving some repairs from the repair bunker. We got another bunker being employed out there, likely for a repair bunker as well.
57mm at your service.
M180 gun finds a trust there. Stu finds a miss on the rifleman.
Enemy unit down.
Rifle squad received quite a bit of damage there, and I think one of the AT guns may have gone down. Could have been this one. Rifle squad severely wounded. There's a dropped bar there. Finding some damage there onto that Ranger. Now you got the Tiger tank receive a bit of fire. Good hit there on the M180 gun. These cruise it. Tiger tank does not angle of that Sherman tank. Sorry about these lag spikes. I see them very, very easily. I'm not sure if you all can see those lag spikes.
Ready for battle.
That rifleman squad, oof, needs to be fall back, get reinforcements. This is literally a sneeze away from death. better drink wine in order to make sure you don't drink anything bad. And he didn't take my advice. Two now seem to put some fire there. Getting repaired by the repair bunker. This one has been upgraded to repair bunker as well. The Shu still could go down to the AT gun. Does see a bounce there. Capture Pack 38. And now the Volkswagen is eyeing for the VP. Shu does fall back in time. And the MP40 Volks will go and get the decrew on that Pack 38. The Sherman takes doing a good job of dissuading them.
Infantry squad lost.
Volkswagen squad does fall back now. Pack tank still not fully repaired. Does damage and crit down below half health. Rifleman squads are now advancing forward. We got the Sherman tank needs some much needed repairs, and now the Tiger tank does rotate its gun around. Nothing being researched or deployed out by the US player. Maybe just going to eye off my combat groups for the rest of the game. No additional efficiency, no Panzer Command.
The guns are primed, loaded, and ready for more.
Hit by enemy anti-tank! Ah!
Pack 38 severely wounded, but still camouflaged and hiding away, barring the fact that one Volksgrenadier model firing away, revealing his position. Volksgrenadier squad advance forward does have one bar loaded on up, and now eyeing for some stun grenades there. Trying to hit that Ranger squad. Rangers cannot fire it up out the stun effect. And now receives some deadly hits there. Has received a battle phase there. Gets fully stunned. Here comes some more stick bombs, stun grenades. And does go ahead and stun that Rifleman squad there as well. Those grenade assaults have been oh so good. Volksgrenadier squad made it fall back. Great hits there on the Rifleman squad. Volksgrenadiers does fall back. Pack 38, capture Pack 38 does get decrewed. I've got the MG42 now firing away against these squads. So we do have a fresh 251 half-track being blown out, like the IN-4 Warferman.
It's too much. They're under fire.
Rifleman squad advance forward, trying to kill some sticky bombs. Tiger tank does find a hit there on the Rifleman squad. Rifleman squad does fall back, does get a sticky bomb there. Will get damage and crit there, but gonna repair it up by the engineers on the front line. Tiger tank still a bit wounded, so that's damage and crit as well. Ranger Thompson's now advancing on forward.
The enemy is seizing our territory.
And also got a dead Jeep right there. A couple drop bars as well. Pack 38 does find a hit there on the Sherman tank, but the Sherman tank finds a good hit there on the Pack 38. One more shot, direct hit, and that Pack 38 is done for. Pack tank now trying to avoid any more AT gun fire. Good hit there on the Flame Engineers. AT gun's going to be falling back. Needs repairs of nearby squad. Bar from Rifleman do pick up that bar. Good hit there onto that Rifleman.
Quickly, before they can beat us again!
And this Rifleman squad will go ahead and make their way over the flank to capture some points. Over on the right side, we do have these Rangers advancing forward. And we've got these Riflemen now advancing towards the center. Pack 38 is camouflaged, but severely wounded.
Another replacement.
Attack our forward base.
We have 5 command points here. That should be enough for the Blitzkrieg. Maybe not necessarily for manpower blitz. I don't remember if that requires 5 or 6 from after getting the stun grenades. MP40 Volks needs good damage in there. Repair sappers repairing up the front line. Great stun grenades there. As for type, he can't really afford Blitzkrieg nor the manpower blitz. Maybe want to eye some caches on the munitions points. He does have a Warframe here to fire a barrage wherever he so chooses, as long as it's within range. Rifleman does get suppressed. Got the Volksgrenadier falling on back. Great hit there onto that Rifleman.
Americans are seizing territory from us.
And up here, we do have the Rifleman throwing some rounds on the Kampfkraft Center. Not like that would do much. Sherman tank rotating around. The Sherman tank has currently 13 kills. The Stu has 52. Tigerpanzer has 12. And the Stu has 19. Got these forces now advancing on forward. Do have the Rangers. They do fire a volley there onto that Volksgrenadiers. And now the engineer or the Rangers receive a hit there. Frag grenade thrown. And Pioneer does get suppressed. Volksgrenadiers advancing on forward. Tiger tank trying to find an angle there on this Rifleman squad. Does get that one decrewed. Also, those Riflemen were camouflaged for some odd reason. Good there on those Rangers. Rangers are falling back. They still have both their bazookas up and going, so the Patrick could get some hits. We're not working moving around. We got the Sherman tank coming in for a nice flank there. Get a good hit onto that Stu. Does have a catch and recovery bunker here as well. One more catch and recovered, and then it will get a free Grenadier. Stu trying to find a hit there on this Rangers. Rangers didn't get the capture point, but they did fall back. They did not get any hits there onto that half track with their bazookas. Warfman barrage raining on and over here. And it looks like they will largely miss that Rifleman squad. Stu seems a bit of fire there. Does have efficiency 3 on his tanks as well. Rifleman to capture the Super VP. Bernard Warfare receive a bit of fire. Now Tiger tank's trying to come to respond to this Sherman tank.
Unit has died.
Bernard Warfare does get the crew there. Pack 38. Soldier Specialty 1. Tigerpanzer are advancing forward. Stick grenade does connect onto the Tiger tank. Does not get a damage to crit. Does have enough command points for the manpower blitz. Just needs some more munitions for it. Capture Pack 38 being forced back. Stu trying to find a shot there. And that could destroy the gun entirely. It does get at least decrewed. Good hit there onto the gun of the MG42. Destroy the Pack 38 entirely. The MG42 does go down as well. Pack 38 is actually still alive. MP40 Volks sort of sitting there in light cover. Rifleman squad. Gain some damage down to the Volksgrenadiers. Pack 38 does fire some rounds with the M1AT gun. And we've got the MG42 being redeployed to the front line. Some of this stuff is a little bit wounded, but nothing too significant. It does lose one of his repair bunkers.
Volksgrenadiers here.
Cowards attack our forward base.
Stu is advancing on forward. Hellcat finds a hit there. Also missed there. Stu.
The grateful fatherland and glorious struggle. Honor and blood.
Hellcat does receive a bit of fire there. Stu doesn't get any good hits there. Pack 38 rotate around to get a good hit. Does roll a miss there, so doesn't get the wipe destroy there. Tigerpanzer over here. Both of them all that's all quite wounded. Rifleman squad and Ranger squad advance forward. Rangers, nope, they did not drop the bazooka. But you get forced back there. Riflemen do pick up the MG42. The MG42 has basically no gun health left. So one good hit there from anything will go down. Good hit there from... Ooh! Does lose a whole squad there. Does take up the MG4, the Pack 38. MG42 looks like will withdraw in time. Maybe. Camouflage Pack 38 here. Hellcat receiving some much needed repairs. Nothing to be deployed out by the tank depot. He's approaching enough munitions for a manpower blitz. Let's see what the US player has. Not a lot of manpower. Enough munitions for off-map power shoot. MP40 folks now advancing on forward, trying to get a good hit there onto this AT gun. AT gun does not get decrewed there. Volks Grenadiers do fall back. US players just very low in manpower. Does have efficiency to howitzer. These lag spikes. I definitely need to restart the game. Maybe restart my Chrome browsers. This is usually what causes a lot of the issues. Oh yeah, I also have my macros, what I use for macros and other games open as well. Maybe I can close that out as well. Also at this. Pack 38 does get a good hit there on the Hellcat. Hellcat gets a main gun destroyed crit, but can still walk away or drive away. Ranger squad on advance forward. He's trying to charge forward from stun grenades there. Gets a decent hit there, flinching around the Rangers. Stun grenades will be cancelled. Not sure if that refunds some munitions because it looked like he was about to throw one.
Painkiller here. We're losing a strategic sector.
Rifle squad has the object. We're losing them as fast as we're getting them.
Rifleman squad.
Front and center.
Sector being captured.
Warframe Barrage raining on in.
105 battery here. Under attack.
And does get a decent hit there. Takes out the Hellcat. Oh!
Supply lines.
He got lucky with that. I think he was aiming for the howitzer, but he managed to get himself a Hellcat. Oh, the howitzer going to target itself or something? There's some sort of ability right there. Never mind. Tiger Tank now advancing forward. Of course, has efficiency 3. Trying perhaps to take out this AT or howitzer piece. US players just running low on manpower. And the Wehrmacht player should have plenty of manpower for the rest of the game since he has manpower blitz. In fact, he has enough for a manpower blitz right now. Gets directed down the howitzer, just got efficiency 3, and does get decrewed in one shot. Trying to go for some sticky bombs there. Bazooka does roll a bounce. Volks Grenadiers, no, that's MG42, finds some bursts there on the Rangers. The Coast can fire it up. Sherman Tank trying to either rearm it, but there's no sticky bomb to slow down the Tiger Tank. Sherman Tank can, of course, encircle the Tiger Tank. Sticky bomb will not be connecting yet. Two now advancing on forward. And the Rifleman squad does make soft retreat. Rangers do fall back, and looks like the US players going to cast in GG. And that is the end of the replay. Two are advancing on forward, and of course the game person's already backed out of the game. And that's the end of the replay. This is Andrew saying thank you for watching, and on to next replay. As my game starts restarting, I need to use the restroom. Sorry about that, and we'll be right back. Sorry about that, everybody. I drank, what, 3-4 liters of fluid today, so let's just say I tend to go a bit more often than I would like. Also, I need to restart my web browser. Among other things, I'm gonna close out things that potentially could cause some lag spikes, and hopefully this just sort of makes the game run a little bit more efficient. I know Google Chrome tends to eat a lot of resources. More than it really should. And I have a really nice gaming desktop I built myself. Okay, Computers 1 should be loading back on up. Hopefully. Loading slowly, of course. There it goes. And my apologies for that. And hopefully now everything's just sort of more or less sorted out.
Sega.
I just want things to run smoothly. Today, it's just one of those days like, oh, I can start my stream early today, and then everything just doesn't want to work right. So, this should be good. I thought I deleted that replay. Nope. It's a different replay. Oh yeah, this replay I've already casted. Oh, let's find some 2v2s. Let's go for some 2v2s now. Let's see, I don't think I casted either of these. So, let's go and cast them both then. Greetings everyone, and Great here for another Company Heroes 1 replay. Spawn on the top side as the US player, we have Death Machine. Spawn as his British ally, we have Brutal Hummel. Spawn on the south side as the Wehrmacht players, we have Brandy Polikako. And spawn as the Panzer Elite player, we have Slip. And yep, that restart and closing out the browsers made my game run much smoother. Perfect. Pioneers are pushing way forward, got the Wehrmacht quarters deployed on out, scope rifles eyeing for the munitions point, and the US player is going for the Jeep. And somehow me clicking right here pulled up the barracks. I don't know why. There's always hidden buttons around here. Look at that. What I'm doing here is somehow finding that barracks. I swear. Right here. There's an invisible button right here. So if I ever seem like feel like I'm clicking on random things, it's not me. There's a random button right here. Why is there a random button here? I think it's because I'm playing in not playing, but viewing the game in 4K. I always find these random buttons.
Recon ready.
Now I can't find it again. I'm just going crazy, aren't I? You got the Jeep now pushing way forward. Schimwagen is in pursuit. Pioneers over here. Pioneers on the field point. Over here, we got the Kenigrad advancing on forward. We got the engineers capture this capture point there. Scope intersection of advancing forward. We'll find the Schimwagen. Schimwagen's knocking them around a little bit. And the US player's going for another rifleman squad as I click on that invisible button again. And now the Schimwagen's receiving some much needed repairs. Over here, Pioneer or engineers advance forward, trying to capture that fuel point, and the Kenigrad is withdrawing. Kenigrad just sort of driving around the moment. Do have a lieutenant being deployed on out over here. We do have the Schimwagen advancing forward, and now we're seeing a lot of fire from these intersections. We've got the Pioneers inside this garrison. Nothing on the left flank for the Axis players. That will allow the US player to send his engineers to capture those points quite easily. And it looks like one of the players are starting to lag out a little bit. We of course got a 2-2-3 up deployed on the field. The 2-2-3 of course can be locked down resources. Maybe a little bit too early for a 2-2-3. A 2-2-1 just seems fine, but maybe the 2-2-3 upgrades a little bit just too early. Rolling around these forces, knocking them out of cover. Pioneers does get some great damage at close range, and these forces do get suppressed thanks to the MG42 right here. Intersections do fall back, but you got the Kenigrad driving around, severely wounded. That's not a cutoff point since his munition point is captured. Plus, there's also a HQ command truck here to provide supply. Kennegrad making his way down south. Intersection engaging the Pioneer close range. Pioneer is severely wounded, and actually a rifleman squad, not an intersection. These are the intersections. They're also making their way forward, trying to get some good damage on in. We got these two Pioneers in this region. Does this player not gotten out any sort of Volksgrenadiers yet? Yep, he does have a Volksgrenadier. Never mind. Got the 221 right there, so that's definitely a different unit right there. We're seeing a bit of fire. The 223 is now seeing some repairs from these Pioneers. Rifleman squad eyeing for the garrison. Got the Schimwagen also damaged though. A lot of light vehicles here severely wounded. This Pioneer is very, very wounded. Somehow still has 2 models alive with less than 5% health. Volksgrenadiers behind some heavy cover, so also got the Panzergrenadiers here to support them. The Jeep does go ahead and push his way forward, knocking out the Volksgrenadiers out of heavy cover, and they're forced withdrawal now. In fact, they could potentially get wiped out by that Jeep. The Jeep is in pursuit. Panzergrenadiers getting knocked out of cover now by that same Jeep, and now he needs to fall back to Panzergrenadier. And Panzergrenadier may get wiped out right here, sort of forgotten about it. Does do a withdrawal there. A little bit of a late withdrawal. Could be gunned down. Sniper has been pulled on the field. And it looks like the Panzergrenadier is going to be pursued. Intersection advancing forward. This 221 has been repaired. Jeep does not pursue that Panzergrenadier any further. So we got a Bren squad here as well, able to button some forces, as well as got a Wehrmacht sniper hitting that Bren squad. Both those intersections do fall back. Rifleman still inside this garrison. This other 223 has been set on up, getting some additional fuel supply here. See by that little pennant. And now we've got a Vickers in place of being pulled out by the scope rifle. Intersection does cancel right there. Throw some rounds there on the 223 or 221. Jeep over here, standing there menacingly. Why not? I like foxes. I like kitsunes. Scope rifle squad advancing on forward. Do have these other intersections advancing for as well. Does Bren gun the Schimwagen? Now throwing a lot of rounds at it. The scope rifle squad can be forced back quite easily, but looks like the Schimwagen will go down there. Lieutenant and all these intersections do fall back there. Got the Panzergrenadiers advancing on forward. And now we've got this rifleman squad behind some heavy cover, getting some damage there. Oh, there's a U.S. landmine there that may have been pulled up by riflemen, so there may be infantry doctrine being selected for the U.S. player. Panzergrenadiers being pursued. He may get the wipe there. Kennegrad going to try for a body block. Does get the body block there and draws some fire as well. Very, very nice. Casualty clearing station being pulled out. Rifleman squad trying to stick around to get reinforcement healed on up. And ooh, autocannon does come up forward. Does throw a round in his own Kennegrad, however. And now the Jeep does go down. Looks like we got some landmines being put up by the intersections, not intersections, sappers. You actually don't want to see sappers lay down landmines all too often. And now to have a sending powder being pulled out. Against the light arm they're fighting, they only really need a... You could deploy a Bofors instead. Landmine has been detonated, hitting the armored car. And I got the rifleman and the intersection advancing forward. 223 is withdrawing from the region.
What are your orders?
And we have the Volksgrenadiers backing off from the point now. 222 is now firing away, so it's damage to crit. There's 2 Wehrmacht snipers on the field. Got the MG42 rotating around, trying to protect this various stuff from being overran. Pioneer's trying to repair up the 222 now. And his teammates letting him. And it looks like the Kennegrad does get gunned down right there. Another landmine being pulled on out. We got these Panzergrenadiers pushing their way forward. Volksgrenadiers also pushing their way forward as well. And these engineers does find some good damage onto those Volksgrenadiers. Oh, Rifleman squad does drop a couple models there. See the British mechs picking up some casualties as well. Armor car does get a good burst there. Snipers find a couple shots. Panzer Grenadiers getting ripped apart. And the Volks Grenadiers are behind some light cover there. Pak 38 has been deployed on the field. Let's take a quick look at everybody's doctrines, loadouts, and all that sort. Wehrmacht player has, of course, two pioneers, 2 snipers, 1 MP42, Volks Grenadiers, and Pak 38. Pak 30 or 75 does roll a couple misses there on the 222. This player has we got 2 T-17s playing out on the field. He may be going for armored doctrine. No, I think he's gone for infantry since he saw, because I think he deployed out landmines with his riflemen. I could be mistaken about that. No visible doctrine at the moment. But who knows what he's actually gone for. The British player has gotten now 3 sections, 1 Bren, 1 repair sapper. Very nice. Oh! I saw... Was that a Goliath there? I believe that's a Goliath because I saw a vehicle symbol there. It was red. That could have been... that... And there's a big explosion there. It had been a Goliath. Guess we'll see if he has a munitions half-track or a Funkwagen. T-17's not advancing forward. Does receive a hit there by the Pak 38. Does get a good detonation there. And Pioneer Squad does get fully wiped out. MP42 does get some good damage on in. 2 rotating around. T-17 getting global repair, so he's definitely gone for armor doctrine, so that landmine was not deployed out by a rifleman. Funkwagen seeing a bit of fire there, and that was definitely a Goliath that was exploded. Good Panzerfaust there. 2-2 trying to perhaps body block that wounded T-17. Let's get an engine crit there from the 2-2 now. Pak 38 is having trouble rotating around, trying to hit these the correct target. Does fire around over there. Another T-17 now advancing on forward. Does take it out with the 2-2. Very nice. May want to go for accuracy at this point in time. Hopefully help out with the armor car. And let's go on to... We know about the Wehrmacht's loadout, but yes, less than last time we checked. Pak 38 does get decrewed right there. And this Grenadier squad does not getting out a Panzer at the moment. The Panzer Elite player has 2 Panzer Grenadiers, 1, 2, 2, 3, 2, 2, a light AT track now, Funkwagen, as well as a Kaliningrad. Overall, it's not looking good for the Axis players. We've got the intersections now advancing on forward. 2, 3 sort of skipping on out of there. Gets a full immobilization crit. His engineers can quickly repair that up. I think just pinged there. For repair. Got 2 snipers now firing away against these forces. Engineers now responding to repair. Light track trying to find some shots. Got the left-hander here to support these intersections. Funkwagen is severely wounded. Perhaps could go a bit suicidal, go point blank, throw down a Goliath right in front of him. And now we've got the repair on the Stuart. Credit there onto that Stuart there. And cancer round was fired there, getting great damage on the Grenadier. Didn't wipe it out. Pretty close there with that follow-up shot. And there goes the Kaliningrad.
Destroyed a vehicle.
Engineer squad does fall back.
Steady up, squad.
Kampfgriff company deployed. And there's no music playing, so let's switch over to another player. No, what doctrine he's gone for. I'm not sure what doctrine the British player's gone for. Nor there. So we only got 1 known doctrine, don't we? Pioneer squad does receive a bit of hit there. 1 Panzerstreck does connect on the Staghound or the T-17. Light TF track doesn't get any crits there. Of course, we do got the repair bunker here to help out with his repairs. Camouflage sniper in the region, and we do also have this Grenadier coming up way forward. Armor car advancing forward does avoid the T-17s. intersection advancing forward. Pentrack does fire a shot into the stone wall. Light Track fires around, but no crit shot there. Sniper does get reviewed, does get recamouflaged. Global repairs have been activated. And we've got the Light Track receiving some much needed repairs. Another Light Track here. You have to wait for his crit shots until he gets this global repair has been deactivated. 17s are now pushing way forward. The Axis players are just getting overrun by these T-17s. Stewart does take out the light Track. The short into the crit onto the Stewart. Does get a full immobilization now. But is already nearly at full health as well. T-17s now skirmishing around trying to get some good damage there. Will potentially take out the Hong Kong does take out the 222. And there goes that half track. And it looks like one of the Axis players have cast in GG, so it looks like they're going back out of the game soon. Fresh Stew deployed on the field. Good hit there onto the Stewart. And takes out the Stewart now.
Tank drivers are now able to provide hull-down protection.
These guys could use some global repairs. And I heard hull down as well. Looks like he's gone for Royal Engineers, but this game is already over. One of the players have backed out of the game, and both players have backed out of the game now. This is Anagrade saying thank you for watching, and on to the next replay. A bit of a short replay. Let's see, that was this one here. Yeah, let's go on to this one now. Greetings everyone, and Grade here for another Company Heroes 1 replay. Spawn on the top right side as the US player, we have Death Machine. Spawn as his British ally, we have Jefflins. Spawn on the left side as the Wehrmacht player, we have Phil. Spawn as his other Wehrmacht, oh no, that's Panzer Elite player, we have Zarko. And I don't hear any music playing, do we? Nope, we got the music playing now. Of course, got the barracks been pulling out, got 2 engineers, looks like. Yep, only 2 engineers. British forces. Let's see what he's going for. There's going to be a bit more variety what British players go for in the beginning. Go to the infantry section, point to lieutenant, and then pack up. Wehrmacht corps deployed on the field, but don't got these guys queued up to go task to other locations. Kaliningrad capturing up that fuel point, as well as the munitions point there. Now come to the strategic point there, but that's not a cutoff point. This is the cutoff point there. These pioneers need to get over here. And now this munitions point is being captured on up. Scope rifles advancing on forward. We've got these intersections advancing forward as well. Jeeps now advancing on forward. We've got these pioneers capturing that fuel point. Do now the Bren carrier being deployed on out, so he did not go for lieutenant yet, going straight for the Bren carrier. Maybe packing up the HQ soon. Maybe not. Yep, now he's packing on up. Scope rifle squad backing on off. We got the Panzer Grenadiers advancing on forward, trying to capture that munitions point. US engineers captured these points here as well, but this fuel point is captured, but not in supply. Panzer Grenadiers advancing forward, does got deployed designated marksman on one of the Panzer Grenadiers. MG42 sitting on up to support the Panzer Grenadiers, but we'll have trouble versus that Bren carrier. But does get some damage there. Kaliningrad decapturing this fuel point, very, very nice. Cutting off the Vigi point. I think the British HQ wants to set up in that sector. Point's been decaptured. Now the Kaliningrad will need back on off there. Receive quite a bit of damage.
Radio off here. Go ahead.
MG42 finally getting some good damage there onto this Bren carrier. And now I've got the Bren carrier now falling back. MG42 is or Shimvog is advancing forward, trying to pursue that Bren carrier. Bren carrier is down to pathetic health. Yeah, hello, pathetic health. And now it's at dead health. Intersection does, of course, abandon the Bren carrier there. It does fire some bullets there, but currently can't sprint around anywhere because it's out of supply. Integrated kept being repaired on up while captured that point. Very nice. Pioneers advance forward, trying to repair up that Shimboggin. Does get suppression there on that intersection now. Scope Rifle Squad advancing forward, but without MG14 in the region, they won't be able to advance any further than that. Jeep now advancing forward. We've got these Panzer Grenadiers behind some heavy cover there. Rifleman also pushing them forward as well. I'm trying to knock these guys out of cover, which he is successful with. Engineers now advancing forward, trying to gauge these Pioneers. Does take out the Jeep there entirely. Intersection is, or Rifleman is behind some light cover there. Down south, we've got the Scope Rifle Squad skirmishing around, trying to go around the Shimboggin. I'm not sure where the MG42 may be at, but this is the Pioneer. There's MG42 with the Volksgrenadier coming down there to support. Volksgrenadier still behind this sector. Pioneers and Engineers are staring at each other at a long, not really that long range, and now be shooting at each other now. Rifleman is making his way up north. We got the Kaliningrad captured some points, and these Panzer Grenadiers have now abandoned that heavy cover and making their way over to the right flank. Rifleman coming out for us here, trying to support the Engineers. It looks like the Engineers will win out, given enough time. Kaliningrad does spot this observation post there, so can't decapture that one. I got the Rifleman's trying to engage that Kaliningrad. Oh, here we've got these Panzer Grenadiers pushing way forward, got them behind heavy cover. MG42 trying to sit on up.
NCOs reporting they have destroyed a German target.
Lieutenant is a little bit exposed, does need to pull them back a little bit. Got 3 intersections here, got the 40 HQ here as well. Not a great spot for great fuel point, but does give him some fuel. Maybe eyeing for some sort of Stuart rush at the current rates, going for the infantry support truck now. The MG42 does get decrewed there, so one of these squads need to push forward and capture it. Volksgrenadier are probably the best ones for that job, since they won't get a squad wipe for capturing it. Does recapture that MG42 now. STG squad receiving a bit of fire and dancing around heavy cover. Sniper still firing away. This point's getting pretty well locked down. Got the 2-2. Does detonate the landmine there. Spotted by the Kaliningrad. That could have been deployed out by the Rifleman, but there's also Engineer here, so maybe deploy out by the Engineer. He does want to pack up the headquarters command truck and follows on back. We now have the infantry support truck deployed out as well, trying to find a better sector. It does redeploy the infantry support truck, or the headquarters command truck there after retreating. We'll receive some fire there, but nothing that's too lethal, or the opposite of lethal. Sniper and STG squad advancing on forward. We've got the 2-2 here to support as well. No true Austin over here. Intersections could retreat back to his forward HQ. Now do have a motor pool deployed on out. Field support truck now deployed on the field. He has quite a bit of fuel, so he could perhaps supply the captain and then eye for the armor command truck. Captain's on the build queue now. Engineers now pushing their way forward, along with these intersections. Don't really have any counter to the 2-2-2 at the moment. We do now have a fresh stag hound on the field, or T-17. T-2 does make himself known. We've got the Bren upgrade on one of these squads, so we can pass the button to 2-2-2. Let's get some damage here on 2-2. Most of these guys are falling back with that big assault over here. Of course, both these Panzer Grenadiers in this region. One has STG. Let's take a quick look at everybody's doctrines and loadouts. Of course, the British player has the 3 sections, Lieutenant, Captain, and we do see a Stuart now being deployed on the field. US player with an unknown doctrine got 2 T-17s, but highly likely it's going to be armor if he's gotten 2 T-17s. 2 T-17s are now advanced forward against good damage there on those Pioneers. We also got the Riflemen. Over here, we do have the... For the Pencil player, 3 Pencil Grenadiers, 2 222s, 1 severely wounded, 1 not so wounded, and vet 1. There is a Wehrmacht landmine there. And as Schimwagen and his Volksgrenadier squad mainly fall back, the Staghounds are in this region. Does find a couple shots there on the snipers, but they don't get a kill there. Does avoid this Wehrmacht landmine as well. There may be another one here. That's usually a common mine placement, but looks like not. There's an incomplete landmine for the Wehrmacht player there. An unknown doctrine for the other US for the Wehrmacht player. Oh nope, that's definitely not unknown doctrine. That is Scorched Earth. That was the city trap laid down there by the Pettenkrad. Stuart does find a landmine by the Wehrmacht player. And down south, we've got these infantry sections now advancing forward. RTF track has been deployed out on the field. We've got also Pack 38 and snipers push way forward. And he may find this landmine. No, he does not find this landmine. Does he have field repairs? Yes, he does have field repairs. So if he does find a landmine, he can quickly repair up the damage and crits, more importantly. MG42 is setting on up, trying to find some good suppression near. Section here does get suppressed. Got the STG squad advancing on forward and does annihilate. Was that the Brent squad? The Brit is losing a lot of important units right there. He did lose the Brent squad. Lieutenant does manage to escape on out of there. Not any further pursuit. Intersection does fall back as well. Now got the T-17s now advancing on forward. We've got global repairs have been activated, maybe a bit prematurely. Maybe it was a little bit wounded. Does get the damage crit there from the light TF track. Does get fully mobilized there. The global repairs will potentially top off his health. But he's maintained enough damage that it doesn't get repaired on up. Pack 3 does go down. Global repairs have been completed and no more repairs, so that is going to be a fully mobilized D-17. Does get multiple engine crits there. Armor cars getting some great rear armor hits there from the 222s. Panzerfaust does connect as well to get one of the T-17s. One of the 222s receive quite a bit of fire there. This 222 may get killed off by his buddy. And this 222 will go on down. Got another round of global repairs being activated. This one no longer was not the one that had any sort of crits, so all of his stat counts are still very much alive. This one does get efficiency 1, does get that sandbag animator. I honestly don't know if that does anything. I don't really know the efficiency effects of some of these units, like the T-17. These forces do fall back in time. And the snipers do avoid the Staghound fire. Staghounds are still going up around, receiving a bit of fire here and there, but they still have plenty of health. That's 5 T-17s, 1 rifleman, 1 engineer. It's going to be solely focused on deploying out more and more T-17s as a build. We do have... Nope, that's not a cache. There's a cache there. He would definitely need a lot of munitions for maintaining those field repairs if he really wants to be hyper-aggressive. 2 now receive some fire from these T-17s. Damage and crit there. No landmines retreat path. STG squad is not a good squad to help protect that 222. And there goes that 222. T-17 does get some good shots there. Volksgrenadier seeing quite a bit of fire. Does take out one of the T-17s now. Stuart is in the region. He could go for a canister round. Good hits there. Does take out the
Enemy
Pack
unit
38. The Panzer player only has STG squads. He has no more AT on the field. That is a massive problem. His teammate does have one Pack 38, but needs perhaps... Probably not Grenadiers. Canister rounds are probably a little bit too effective. They need to get out a Stug, probably. As well as maybe a Martyr.
Pack 38.
Looks like the Panzer player maybe saving up some Panthers. He has the manpower for it. Maybe not the research, however. We also know he's gone for Scorched Earth. That Pack 38 does get captured on up, but we'll get decrewed there. Got a full squad wipe on that British infantry. Sniper may go down. Got a pair of Pack 38s here. They have a solid for the Panthers pretty much at this point in time. Out of control, one of the Pack on the E-17s. British there on that Pack 38, sitting on up, trying to hit this guy here. Got a number of veterans see onto these T-17s. Snipers may get spotted there. STG squads advancing on forward. Going for light TF track. He may be too far away from research. He needs to get Martyrs out. That's the only thing I can say that... There we go. Oh, that's the Martyr upgrade, not the Martyr. Oh boy. He's really far away from Panthers, aren't he? Isn't he? He doesn't have enough fuel for Martyrs, and Martyrs are supposed to be dirt cheap.
The enemy is seizing our territory.
Times you wish you would have gone for Tank Hunter and got out a couple Hetzers. And now got Stag Hounds to support the Stag Hounds. These ones are upgraded 50 cals. Got the Stuart here as well. And now there's going to be a lot of fire here, as well as suppression. It's probably just game for the Allies, for the Axis. Cast round was fired there, not really that great, however. Light App track is firing away, but not being all too successful. See a hit there, destroyed onto that Stag Hound. And that's the British Stag Hound, so they can't move around. And the Wehrmacht player has back to the game now. Got a... Yep, I'm not sure what that is. I can't speak foreign. Or can't read foreign. Or speak it. Either way, this is Android saying thank you for watching, and on to the next replay. Let's see, that was this one right here. I've cast quite a bit with him, so let's go into a different replay. Demo charge. That sounds interesting. Let's take a look at this one. Greetings everyone, and Grade here for another Company Heroes 1 replay. Spawn on the right side as the British forces, Sivenka Griggs Makinta. I really need to learn how to pronounce his name. Spawn as the US ally, we have FR. Nice, easy name to pronounce. Spawn as their opponent, as the Panzer League player, we have a foreign name. Spawn as the other Panzer League player, we have Hanstom CZ. We do have a barracksman pulling out on the field for the British forces. We do have another infantry section to pack up HQ. Panzer Grenadiers pushing the way forward. We do have this scope rifle squad trying to capture some sectors as well.
Ready to fill the day.
Infantry section trying to make their way forward. Panzer Grenadiers pushing their way forward as well. Panzer Grenadiers looks like eyeing for that fuel point. Nope, they do stop capturing that fuel point. Catagrad's going to be captured at that point now. Engineers capture this munitions point. I've got the Catagrad up here, capture that point. Point secure. Looks like the British HQ has been set up on the high ground at the highest point, farthest point from that point. I suppose that's not the farthest point. This is the farthest point. Well, you should put it right there, right?
Capture complete, sir. Nice looking for
Panzer Grenadiers pushing way forward, trying to stop this fuel point from being secure. This point is not in sector at the moment, so that will not get any income. We got the intersection here, receiving a bit of fire. Got this G43 squad also advancing on forward. Panzer Grenadiers are going behind some advance on forward. We got the intersection here, capture that munitions point. And this intersection does fall on back as well. Over here, we've got this engineer squad does fall on back. Intersection is behind some light cover there. And now the intersection is behind some light cover there and does fall back now. Panzer Grenadiers now engaging at close range, trying to engage that intersection. This intersection will be forced back, getting way overwhelmed. But use boy designated marksman on that squad. And he does finish off that squad with boy designated marksman. The Panzer player was not paying attention and got his squad sniped. You now have a Bren carrier load on up. It's loaded up with only a 4-man squad in the back, which is all he needs. Scope Rifle squad does fall back this HQ, and now this could be overran. We're seeing a bit of fire there and does get wiped out there. Lieutenant has been pulled out of the field, does deploy, pack up his HQ, and does fall back as Lieutenant to his teammates' HQ. Riflemen and engineers now advancing on forward, and now resetting up that HQ as well. Rifleman squad receiving quite a bit of fire there and may need to fall back in negative ground at the moment. And may get wiped out right there. Nope, he does not. There was a retarget there. Riflemen and engineers engage at close range. When these engineers are severely wounded, they could both potentially fall back, get some reinforcements. They probably both need to capture up these sectors over here. But I suppose they don't need to fall back, get reinforcements. We can just get reinforcement right there. Kaliningrad trying to bully around these forces does not receive a whole lot of fire there. Capture that point. We do also have these intersections, or these Panzer Grenadiers down south. We've got another Kaliningrad here. Panzer Grenadiers making a soft retreat away. And Panzer Grenadiers has to get inside the garrison. One model remains, so he needs to get out of the garrison sooner rather than later. Bren carrier trying to drive away, receive a bit of fire. Bren carrier captured that point, and now these intersections going around these points. We do have a medic station here that is very, very in the open. Probably should have put it behind this line of sight blocker there. They put it there to be a roadblock for the light vehicles that we run forward.
Lieutenant is KIA.
Ooh, losing a lieutenant like that is not a great idea.
Listen up, march equipment upgraded.
Does get the Bren guns that go in the goes along with the Bren
German
guns.
forces are trying to secure one of our sectors.
Intersections capture that point, and now these Panzer Grenadiers advancing on forward.
Listen up.
Supply lines are broken. We have territory out of supply.
Bren carrier captured that point. Let's see what resources we have. Brent or doctrines. No doctrines yet for the British player. He's lost quite a bit. There's an intersection and a lieutenant. It's not great. He does not have. Oh, he's going for the infantry support command truck now. But the US player does have 3 riflemen and an engineer, or 2 engineers. Does fly an observation post onto the fuel point. Bren carriers now push their way forward for Brens. Got the Scope Rifle squad in this region as well. May get easily overwhelmed here. There's 2 G43 squads here. One of them just got vetted up. And then so Bren Carrier's receiving quite a bit of fire right there. He may lose the Bren Carrier. He'll likely lose the Bren Carrier. Bren Carrier's trying to drive away. Does suppress there, and now the Bren squad does fall back. Bren Carrier does go down. More Panzer Grenadiers push away forward. We do got the Rifleman squads and behind this heavy cover. And he's going to need that heavy cover to engage these Panzer Grenadiers if they push too far forward. For this Panzer League player, unknown doctrine selected to got a 2-2 on the build queue, and another 2-2 already on the field. His teammate has gotten out a infantry half track and a panzer track squad.
Loud and clear. Send.
Got these forces skirmishing around, trying to capture some points.
Objective secure.
You're fixed.
Now the Kaliningrad has been repaired. Half track is now advancing on forward. It can provide some suppression. A load of Boeing squads in the back of it, and now that Bren squad does fall back. You now have casualty clearing stations being pulled out there. Now there's going to be 2 sets of medics. It does actually cancel that casualty clearing station. The US medic charging forward will, it looks like it's getting gunned down now. Rifleman squad does find some shots there. 2-2 does fire some rounds as well. Sticky bomb does connect on the Kaliningrad. It does get fully destroyed. Kaliningrad's now Panzer Grenadiers advancing forward, getting some damage there on the HQ command truck, but there's only one Panzer truck squad. Bren Gun and Scope Rifle squad advancing forward with the support of the Rifleman. Does wipe out the Rifleman squad inside the garrison. A couple of allies have lost a lot of stuff. This garrison, there's only one window on this side. And there is, looks like a couple windows on this side. Still not a great garrison to fight from. Panzer Grenadiers advancing forward. I think there's at least one pan truck. Yeah, I'm sort of surprised it's not more damage than this HQ command truck at the current rate. We got Captain here, which helps buy us a good defensive buff for these guys.
An enemy unit has fallen to our might.
Infantry half track is pushing way forward. Got another pan truck deployed on now. Bren squad is getting seen quite a bit of fire. He does kind of decide to pack on up, trying to retreat back some of these squads. Let's fall back all the squads. The captain sort of got left behind, and now the British force is just getting overwhelmed. US player, where's all the US defense? A lot of riflemen. Some more Panzer Grenadiers there. Got the Stuart now deployed on the field, but has received quite a bit of fire. Those are around there on the 222. Patrick's now pushing way around. And does find a landmine there. Destroyed engine crit there. The half track does get a good body block there. Damaged engine crit there on the Stuart. Let's take out the 222 there. Patrick's lining up a shot. He needs to turn around, get a canister round. He does lose the Stuart entirely. Flame Engineers advancing forward. To see fully pinned there. Another Flame Engineer Rifleman squad advancing forward, forcing back those forces. There is a sticky bomb being thrown onto that 222. Very nice. It does get a fully immobilization crit. Medic station does go down there. And that engineer does get suppressed, pinned, and reinforced. Alright, grab the armor car there. I don't think you can see the engine damage on this unit. There's no like markers for immobilization on the 222. Patrick's do hit onto that headquarters command truck, but does have his teammate has engineers nearby for it. Light half track does find a shot and bounce onto that HQ command truck.
Achtung! Enemy forces are attacking our petrol depot.
He is now trying to hit that Patrick squad as a full tank buster squad. We got some bounce there on the headquarters command truck. Vehicle does get button right there. Does receive a miss from a Piet. Gets fired another shot there. Rolls another miss there. Gets squad receiving quite a bit of damage. Does do a retreat order there to get reinforced. Now push way forward. We've got the officer trying to support him. button does wear off and does roll another miss there. That's why I really don't like Piets. They're either really hit or miss. And we need... This feels like they miss a bit more. Light Half-Track does get a full mobilization crit there, trying to be repaired up by the Sapper. And he should have took out the AT Half-Track. We got M1 AT gun now deployed on the high ground. Does get some hits there on the 2-2-2. It does actually get the light half-track destroyed, thanks to the fact that he didn't retreat back far enough, and the engineers do repair the damage on the half-track. Not half-track, Stuart. Rolls a miss there. Stuart's now facing forward, trying to go for a canister round. Does annihilate that squad right there. Kennegrad trying to body block Stuart's movement. We do have a... No, that's just the Panic up or research upgrade. And so we'll go and fall him back.
Kampfgruppe Company is available to take the field.
Let's go ahead and take a look at each player's doctrines so far. We do got commandos now being called on in. We do got, of course, infantry. Unknown doctrine for this player. You got a couple of Panic squads loaded in the back. And we do have a doctrine selected for this player here, but I'm not sure what it is at the moment. Do we see any booby traps? Don't see any booby traps. We do also got commandos. Those that got deployed down here.
Attention, the enemy advances.
Does get a button there on the vehicle. Does get some good damage as well. Stuart now advancing on forward. Commando still down south. Stuart's now advancing forward. Stuart does roll a miss, but still ongoing. Two half-tracks here. Looks like both of them load up with double Panic. Stuart has to be very careful, because may get killed off like that. Looks like the Brent squad does get suppressed there, unable to get the kill on that half-track. Light half-track does not get a hit there.
We are losing a sector.
We do got demolition charge here. Gets a full damage in right there and takes out the 2-2-2 to a demolition charge. Very, very nice. He may blow up one of his own models, but I think that's worth. He may be eyeing for another demolition charge right there, or yeah, he is eyeing for another demolition charge. Very nice. Scope rifles will capture the munitions point.
Supply lines are broken. We have territory cut off from supply.
Stuart pushes away forward.
Ready.
And
Have been destroyed in action.
double demolition charge there. There won't be a third anytime soon because the commando squad has fallen back. But the glider's still down there, so you can pull out some more commandos from that glider. Scope Rifle squad does fall back there. Got multiple 2-2-2s and half-tracks advancing forward. Greyhound advancing around, but of course he has to be very careful. There's just too many Panic there. These are all landmines deployed up by the US player.
Now available.
Now got the Hetzer now put out here. So this player, the person I have in blue, has gone for Tank Hunter. So he has potentially a lot of extra Panic to be deployed out. And gets damage and crit there, but does splash his teammate Stuart right there. Canister rounds? That could have been much worse. Does take out the half-track. And does lose the Stuart right there. Greyhound receiving lots of fire there. May find that landmine, does not find that landmine. Greyhound does not find another shot there. Panic trying to eye a shot there. Lining on up, fires, rolls a miss, and looks like the Greyhound will stay alive for now. Do advancing forward, we've got Panther splat by the other Pansley player. As Tutu does find that landmine. Flamer engineers those force back the Panic squad, so the other half-track does go down. There's also now two Panthers on the field, which I'm not sure if they Allies are ready for that. Does have a couple AT guns. Commandos pushing way forward. It's there on the M1 AT gun. Over here, a couple AT gun shots there. Does get a pen there onto that Panther. Down south got these 2-2s advancing forward. Commandos will spot them. The Commandos can rip apart, offense of them being on negative ground. Greyhound does find a hit there. Now we're seeing some repairs. Got an AT gun here. Know about the commandos. Know about the infantry. We still don't know what his doctrine is. His teammate has gone for Tank Hunter, which we may see some Hetzers deployed on out. He's also lost 2 of his Pantrek squads, looks like. That's a US landmine, I believe, which these 2-2s may find. But so far, just one unknown doctrine. Likely it's going to be Scorched Earth. Usually there's going to be one person going for Scorched Earth, primarily for Hummels. Oh, never mind. Luftwaffe ground forces. You could see a Whirlwind deployed on the field. Though I think he did went down the line for the Flak 88, so we may see a Flak 88 relatively soon. Luftwaffe ground squad, I think he's going for a Flak 88. Deploy Z-88s. Which the 88s will be very effective versus these AT guns. Oh, there's a radio triangulation. You managed to sneak squad. Oh, wait, no, that's on their own side. That's not exactly sneaking, is it? Radio triangulation has been deployed on out.
Go ahead. We can use Luftwaffe.
Rolls a miss there. Greyhound does not receive a whole lot of damage there. Good to do nose mass escape on there with receiving any damage either. Kaliningrad does go down to the M1 AT gun. Panther does receive a bounce there. Does receive a pen there. A lot of armor here. Now we've got a Flak 88 being deployed on out. Pantreks are started making their way forward. We also got a Bren gun up, found off the ground, which does take a hit there. It's also a G43 squad. Pantreks does find some hits there. Looks like PS2 rain on in. He can receive quite a bit of fire. His forces is suppressed and does get forces back. There's a lot of US landmines in the region. We've also got the commandos here. Flak 88 has been completed. Finds a direct hit there onto that Stuart and does get taken out by one of the Panthers. 2-2s can force back these infantry forces. Panther absorbs fire. Ooh, there's a direct hit there. That must have been an M2. Yep, M2's now firing away. Flak 88 does find a shot there. 70 pounder being trying to be deployed on out. And the flame engineers do go down.
Squad, ready for order. We are under fire! Receiving you loud and clear!
Luftwaffe squad is seeing a bit of fire there. He could pass button down, button the Panther. 70 pounder is in range, barely though. Flak 88 received quite a bit of fire. Now it does get decrewed by the M2. PS squad does fall back. We've got the M1 AT gun out on the field. Trying to find some shots there onto this Flak 88. Or, nope, takes up the Panther.
Ready to pass on orders. Squad ready!
I hear Howitzer Barrage M2 raining on in. Pass over here once again. Finds a good hit there on the Panzer Grenadiers, and they do force them to fall back. Ooh! Full squad wipe from the Panther squad. Even drops a Panther track. The Luftwaffe ground forces could pick that up. Flak 8 does find a good hit there on the AT gun. This AT gun will likely get destroyed by the next Flak 88 shot.
They've destroyed an enemy unit.
And there goes out that 2 AT gun. Greyhound advancing forward, off my parachute onto the Luftwaffe ground forces. Probably the wrong target for that, and the Greyhound does go down. Oh, that was a decoy barrage. That's what it was. The model's now advancing on forward. But it's there. It does take out the Flak 88 with the 25 off-map 25-pounder barrage. And now the Luftwaffe ground forces does fall back there.
Ready for orders, sir. Work done, sir.
M180 guns advancing on forward. We've got the Bren gun making its way forward as well. Maybe trying to button one of these vehicles. U-43 squad could suppress that Bren gun squad. 70-pounder does fire rounds there and does get the button there onto the 2-2. That's what's on out there. And there goes that unit. As Rangers advancing on forward, M180 gun to try and find some shots there onto the Panther. Over here, got the Panther do fire some shots there. Now we've got the M180 gun receiving a bit of fire. Does find a landmine over there. Does get the M180 gun fully decrewed. As I think it was the decoy barrage as well. Trying to destroy this AT gun. Perhaps the G43 is not destroyed, while the Luftwaffe ground forces does try to focus it down. Does take out that half gun or M180 gun. The model's now advancing forward, receive a bit of fire. And Flak 88 has been fully destroyed by that off-map 25-pounder barrage. Do now have a Sherman Firefly out here, as well as a command tank to inspire him. Do now have Flak 8 does get cancelled there. Bren gun's advancing on forward, and we've got the Piet squad as well. Good it there onto the Panther. And these forces are all falling on back.
Munition stores are under attack.
Over here, Pioneer's just trying to capture that point. And now the Flak 88 is being deployed on out. Again. In the same spot, generally. Riflemen and engineers are making an advance. We've got the scope rifle squad here. Find some rounds with these 2-2s, one for each player. Does get interrupted there. Rifleman and Flamer does get some rounds down the Luftwaffe ground forces. And this Panther needs a lot of repairs. Over here, Panzer Grenadiers advance forward. They may found a landmine there. Got 4-man squad upgrade as well. Commando squad does fall back, but Commando may get fully wiped out. Does find a landmine there. Does take up the Commando squad, but does find a couple of landmines there. It got some good hits there. One of those Panzer Grenadiers did get wiped out. I think it's the STG squad. Or no, Panther Strike squad.
The enemy has dropped.
U-43 squads getting some good damage there on the M180 gun. And now they got these guys advancing on forward. They may find this landmine there. Nope, he does have the ability to protect them. And now 2-2, of course, it does get spotted there, so now you can just wait forward. That looks like a decoy barrage. Sniper could be picked off there, but trying to deal with the AT gun. Another sniper does get spotted there, but has to prioritize hitting that AT gun, because it poses a threat to the 2-2.
The enemy
City
is
panel's not
seizing our
rotating around
territory.
either. Flak 88 here has been decrewed. Panstrack does find a good hit there onto the 222 and does get in crit there from the, I think it was from the Lieutenant Burst. It looks like this player has backed out of the game now.
Elite Fallschirmjäger eliminated.
And that is the end of the replay. This is Angrade saying thank you for watching and on to the next replay. So honestly guys, my voice is starting to go out and I started the stream a bit early, so I'm probably going to have to call the stream early for today, even though I spent a bit longer streaming today. I think my voice is starting to go out and I want to give it a rest before it gets any worse, because I would rather not lose my voice. Everyone, thank you for watching and have a good evening. Get some good rest.